Live from Kakariko Village. Broadcast throughout the Retroverse, transmitted to the real world via a maze of wires connecting a Super Nintendo to a Wii, to a Wi-Fi network, and finally to the Internet. The Techno Funk Boy presents the Retro Zoo Super Show. Now here are your hosts, Kai and Steven.
Thank you and welcome to the retro. This is not starting off well.
Welcome, one and all.
I was just learning. I was just listening to this business podcast, and I was about to start in on the intro to the business podcast. That was just going to throw every. I don't know what's happening in my life.
I don't know what to tell you.
I'm Kai. Today we're going to talk about stocks. I don't know.
Stock. I think we should talk about the Space Force.
Space Force, that would be good, yes. Oh, goodness. This is the Retro Zoo Super Show. We're not going to talk about business. I am Kai.
And I'm Steven.
So, welcome. We are, as always, produced by Drum. Drummer, how are you doing today?
I am functioning normally.
Good to hear. We are, it's exciting to be here. We're actually in the middle of Summer Games Done Quick. I guess we're not in the middle. This is, it continues on today and it ends tomorrow. So those of you who are, downloading this right away, you have time to catch the grand finale tomorrow. But this is one of the big events that I look forward to every single year. It's one of the really big speedrunning events. It's a week long charity marathon that runs 24 hours a day. They are raising money for Doctors Without Borders, and that's been going on. And I would love to report on it some, but it just happened to turn up that this ended up being one of the busiest weeks of my year, and so I've gotten to see very little of it.
Well, that's sad, dude.
I know. Well, I mean, it's going to be, all the races are pretty instantly on YouTube. They upload those exceedingly quickly. But at the same time, it's not quite the same as being able to experience it live. It's still a ton of fun, and I'm going to be enjoying that quite a bit, but it's not quite the same. And so I've managed to catch the last several live ones, but yeah, I've pretty much caught one run so far, and that was this was kind of cool. Okay, so have you ever played Super Metroid?
Yeah or no?
Okay, so since you've played Super Metroid, you know that as you go, you fill in that it auto maps for you.
Yes, I did know that about it.
Just go. I won't ask any follow up questions. Just say yes, of course.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So
auto map.
Right, yeah, and so the map, the auto, it reveals it in squares. And so if you enter the square, the square at all, the whole square ends up on the map. Well, there's this particular category to the speed run that There's like normally like 100%, and there is 100% one in Super Metroid. That means getting all of the upgrades and items and such. But this is not quite a 100% run. This is a complete map run. So they don't get all the items, but they reveal the entire map. And so it's kind of funny to watch sometimes because they're like jumping up into corners just very briefly and then running away from them. And you're like, what was that about? Well, they're just revealing one of the squares on the map, but it's kind of interesting. I mean, that game is run so much that there's just a ton of like fun categories that people have thought up for this. And one of those is, hey, why don't we try to reveal the entire map? That might be a cool thing. So I'm glad I got to watch that one. That was a lot of fun. And we're certainly glad to see Super Metroid back. So Steven, you probably don't know this, but this has kind of been a meme in the Games Done Quick marathons as long as I've been watching.
Wait. Is it about killing the walruses?
Yes.
Or something, or seals?
That's a lot closer than I expected you to get.
Penguins.
You got 2 out of the 3 words right.
Killing the dolphins. Killing the... Wait, hold on. I'm missing the... Am I missing the animal?
No, you're right. It's animal.
Okay.
Killing the animals.
Oh, I was good.
You're trying to be way too specific. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sweet.
Yeah. There's no like normal Earth animals in Super Metroid. It's an alien world.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I know that. Yeah.
So for those who don't know, Steven apparently has been boning up on his speed runs lately, which is fantastic. I appreciate that. That's great.
Yeah. I do a speed run now and then when I get a chance. Actually, at DreamHack, they were running Super Metroid, and I actually did some video of it. That's my longest video I took was of a Super Metroid run.
That run's a lot of fun. Were they talking about killing the animals?
No, they hadn't. No, I was only there for a few minutes, but but I did see the guy playing it, and he got a cool looking suit while I was watching, and I was like, that's kind of cool. But he said it was the most beautiful suit out of all the suits. So nice. I don't know what suit that is, but I
don't know. Samus does have quite a few cool suits. But yeah, not really sure.
So killing the animals.
The game does some really remarkable stuff. The game there's not much text narration to this game. It's all environmental storytelling. And so you get, you see what's happening around you and therefore you intuit the story based on that. And so there's a couple of places where the game needs to teach you how to do something, but without text narration, it's kind of hard to do that. So what it does is they have a few animals that will run past you and show you how to do it. And then you've got to watch them and kind of figure out, okay, that's how I get out of this, this hole or whatever it is. And there is a point at the end of the game when you're trying to escape the planet, and it's about to explode, of course, because it's, science fiction. And you can take a detour, and there is a timer, there's a countdown, to get off the planet. But you can take a detour and find the animals locked in this room and blow a hole in the wall to help them escape. Now, speedrunners don't want to do this, of course, because that takes time. And, in speedrunning, you don't care about the lives of the helpless animals that helped you along the way and ask for nothing in return. You just want to go fast. But Games Done Quick has for the longest time made it a donation incentive, whether you can vote to kill the animals or save the animals and whatever. It's always been one of their biggest donation incentives, and it always comes down to the wire. But in January, in Awesome Games Done Quick, they did not have Super Metroid for the first time in a very long time, and so it was nice to see it back. It was earlier in the week, which normally Super Metroid is really late to let those donations build up, but it was earlier in the week, and I was happy to have been free for that about hour and a half, and it was a lot of fun.
So was there a big uproar when they didn't do it at the beginning of the year?
Yeah, there was a lot of talk about it, and it's really tough for me to I'm always the guy. I say I'm always the guy who does this, but I always want to be the guy who doesn't jump to conclusions and wants to hear why people are doing something that I don't like before I just rant and rave about it. And so I didn't really say anything about it at the time because I thought of a number of reasons why the Games Done Quick committee might have made that decision. It's always a fan favorite, and so it did make a lot of people upset. But since I really don't know why they decided to forego it in January, it's like, well, they probably had a very good reason to do so, and they set a record in the number of donations that they got in January. So clearly they didn't need it. But it was a shock to a lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad they brought it back. That sounds better. Except, how often do they vote to kill the animals?
It's always really close. And not to give it away for those people who haven't watched this one, but it has been a few days ago, and so I'm going to give it away. They voted to save him this time, but it's always a very, very close contest, and so I've seen a few where they've I'm pretty sure I remember seeing a few where they killed the animals, and several, of course, where they saved them. It is a little awkward, we do have some youngins who listen to the program, and we really appreciate you. We love having you here. I think it might be awkward when Games Done Quick does bill itself as a family event. This is they keep the they at least attempt to keep the runners at a PG level of language, even though the language of speedrunners can often be quite salty. So they do try to maintain a PG level so that families can come in, and I'm sure it's happened before that some parents' fears about this event were quelled by the promise of PG conduct, and then they turned it on and they hear people like donating $100 to kill the animals.
Yeah,
they probably turned it off and never come back, but it's mostly harmless. What's going on?
Well, they're just digital animals.
They're just digital. They're pixels.
Yeah, they can be reborn.
Right, yeah, exactly. And they do far worse things to Yoshis in the Mario event. So
yeah.
Oh goodness. So I would love to say that that's what's been going on this week for me, but it hasn't been.
Uh-oh. Well, what has been going on for you?
It's just been one of those busy weeks where and it hasn't even really been like I've gotten a lot accomplished. It's just been one of those things where I've been having to run around way too much.
Right.
And so we were able to stream on Tuesday. We were going to do our normal Realm stream on Tuesday, and that did happen. And we had a lot of technical difficulties, not on my end, but on another person's end that will remain nameless. Jeff Adam, but it still went exceedingly well, and a large number of people turned out for that, and it was absolute blast. So was able to get that done, but otherwise, yeah, it's just been kind of wild and running around. How about you?
Yeah, no, man. I built a chicken coop.
Well, there are a lot of chickens in Kakariko Village, so.
I need more eggs, and so I thought building a coop and keeping some chickens around would be good. So that was one afternoon, and then another afternoon I did some organizing of books, and then at my work, and then I spent the rest of the afternoon drinking tea, special tea. And then pretty much that describes my life. Is organizing books and wandering aimlessly around. So nothing super exciting. I haven't really been playing as much as I'd like to, and I'm a little bit concerned about that. Playing as many games. So I'm I think I'm going to have some time this coming week to where I'm going to invest a lot of time and hopefully even get on the realm on Tuesday, if y'all are doing it on Tuesday.
That is the plan so far, for sure. Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely want to try to get involved in that again. That was fun. I had a really good time last time. But yeah, my coming week's going to be super free. And so I'm really looking forward to gaming a lot more than I normally do. And so the trick will be being fair to all the games and giving them as much equal opportunity. But then prioritizing my favorites at the same time.
Right. Yeah. That's yeah. For sure. You don't have to mention your favorites. We all know what it is.
I purposely did not.
Yeah. Now, actually, speaking of the realm, I got on today, and I was super close to level 250 in my main character, Tangel, and so on the realm, whenever you hit certain level milestones, you get like a sash or a baldric to wear that has a certain color to notate, your level. And that was implemented way back in 96. That's been a tradition of the realm ever since. They've had to expand the number of colors and stuff. But I got my 250 baldric, and so I'm a wizard, and I've been enchanting all my gear with different status effects and stuff, and so I've been doing that with all my stuff, and there's a chance that you can just fry your equipment, like just totally toast it.
How does that happen?
It's
like
just
when you're using it, or when you're imbuing it.
When you're imbuing it, when you're doing the enchantment spell, depending on how strong you are in intelligence and in magic, you have a certain % chance to succeed, a certain % chance to fail, and then a certain % chance to fail astronomically, which means you nuked it. And it's not coming back. And without asking, I had been wondering if, because the baldrics were not something that you really could buy at the store, and they came with a level, maybe you weren't able to nuke them, because I've been really successful in enchanting them up till now. And so I've really been wondering about that. Until today, and just as a note, I'm going to pull up the % chance. I'm not like the strongest person in enchantment in the game, but I try to get 4 enchantments on there, and the % chance for the final one to land and not fail is about 35%. But the first one, the % chance that it's going to land and not fail is 90%. And I totally nuked it first cast.
Oh man.
And so that was like, I don't know exactly what % chance that was, but it's 90% chance to succeed. There's some % chance to fail, but not destroy it. And I toasted it. So
is it still exist, or is it just like all tattered and like kind of burnt, and that you can still wear it?
No, it's gone.
Oh, you totally lost.
No,
your
yeah, no, it glow. The description of it is that it glows like white hot, and then just disappears in just like this puff of smoke type of a thing. So yeah, I toasted it.
Wait, okay. Is there any way you can find like a sash and just dye it to that color?
Well, and that's what I'm really wondering about. And I'm I need to ask somebody that, and I'm a little embarrassed.
So,
hey,
what happens when you nuke your Baldric?
on the first cast?
Like you did it on the first cast?
First cast. And like when I'm enchanting something, if I like get down to the fourth enchantment, I've probably failed 1 or 2 casts before that, but I haven't nuked it. But I normally don't nuke things until like the 4th level of enchantment on it. But this was the first cast. It's like, oh, let me see if I can cast this. Nope. It was gone.
That's crazy.
So hopefully, I find a way to replace it. I mean, and it's level 250 Baldric. I think there's another one that comes at 300. And so it's certainly not the end of the world. Levels are not ridiculously hard to get in the realm. But still, I don't like the color of the level 200 Baldric at all. So I was hoping to dump it.
It's pink, huh?
It's like this, it's like this very light green, not like at all like a forest green, like a strong green, but really kind of a light aqua-y green type of a thing. It's pretty bad. It's not my favorite. Especially because I think like the 150 color was gold, which used to be the highest level Baldric back in '96, and that was the cool one, and considering like I wear all black, and so like having that gold Baldric on was cool. The very light green one, it just doesn't look nearly as cool.
Yeah, no, that's too bad, man. Well, it sounds like you've got your work cut out for you on the realm, trying to find a new Baldric.
Well, this is going to be the main quest for the next week. We'll give you an update next week as to if I figure out a way to do this, and if I had to swallow my pride and ask somebody else. Of course, we have some realm fans who listen to this, so I might get a message a little bit later today going, dude,
all you have to do is go to Baldric's R Us, buy the Baldric of your choice, and go make a die out of whatever clam ink.
There's so many towns I haven't fully explored. There probably is a Baldric's R Us or something. Oh goodness. Well, so that's been what's been going on. So thank y'all for joining us. We actually have a couple of games to play today. Which we're kind of excited about. The second one is going to be very, very much Legend of Zelda themed, but the first one is just going to be on gaming in general. And, so thank you for joining us. I think we're going to have a lot of fun this episode. We really do appreciate that you continue to join us each and every week. For those who are not in on our Facebook group, I'm putting the link in the show notes, which are at technofunkboy.com/ what episode number are we on, Steven?
43.
I wasn't actually expecting you to know that. That's impressive.
Well, we talked about 42 last time, and there was no significance.
Right. Yeah, no significance.
There was no significance to that number.
So, technofunkboy.com/43 for episode 43. Thank you very much for reminding me of that, because I had forgotten, which is why I was stalling by asking you. Oh, gosh.
See, sometimes I pull through, right?
Sometimes, yes. All right. Well, all right. So the first thing that we want to do is, we started this last week and we actually kind of had fun with it. We were playing around with kind of like wrestler smack talk.
Oh yeah.
And just kind of toying with the idea of having this in like a gaming podcast, which is ridiculous. But during the week we were sitting there talking, it's like, you know what? Like, a lot of the villains in these video games do these kind of really over the top smack talk speeches. And what if we were to recreate that a little bit? And just to get us in the mood, I am going to play a couple of speeches from some old school wrestling. on how they do this and where they go with it. And let's just take a listen, and then we're going to jump right into this.
All right, over the last couple of months, it has been very difficult for me to introduce this man without using World Wrestling Federation champion Hulk Hogan here at WrestleMania 4 this afternoon. You've got the opportunity to change that.
Oh, yeah, it's been hard to live with, man. Fee, fi, fo, fum, Andre. One long year, and your time has come, man. No marks, no scars, no blemishes on the Hulkster, brother. But inside, man, I've been scarred for one long year. Everywhere I go, man, all the little Hulksters ask me, is there any truth to the fact that there was a controversial count? Hulkster, did you really get him over your head? Did you really beat the Giants? Well, today, man, in WrestleMania 4, we're going to wipe all that controversy out. Andre the Giant, in the second round, when you're fresh as a daisy, with the whole world watching, I'm going to prove, brother, that I can beat you anywhere, anytime. And all my Hulkamaniacs, they're going to feel it too.
You got the Giant, the only professional wrestler who's still undefeated. And Hulk Hogan, I'm proud to be it, because now Ted DiBiase is on his way up. That's why he paid me for, to keep you out of the tournament, Hogan. And you are. And I know one thing, and that's why the people go to know too, and that's why they're going to remember. You are the ex-champion, Hogan.
All right. let me get my wrestler voice going. All right, so. Stephen, we're actually going to start with you. This is a quote from the Dark Queen. And a lot of these are actually compilations of quotes that, of several things the characters say during the game, as is the case with this one. But this is the Dark Queen from Battletoads.
So, I have a question before I do this one.
Okay, you're throwing me off because the first word of the quote is so. And I was like, you said so, and I'm like, are you going to use that voice? Because that's not right.
That's what I was going to ask, is what kind of voice should I do this? It's the Dark Queen. So is she a masculine Dark Queen or an effeminate Dark Queen from Battletoads? I mean, should I use a baritone, deeper voice, like a wrestler voice?
I
or
think
should I imagine
I think we should go with wrestler voice on all of them.
Okay, but maybe a lady wrestler.
A lady. If you have a lady wrestler voice, you go for it.
All right, I'm gonna give my lady wrestler voice a little exercise here. All right. Okay. So. Hold on. Let's start over.
This is going to take forever.
Okay. So, Hook Bill, your frogs did well, but let us see how they do against my birds of prey. Pray the birds don't get them. You annoying frogs. I'll have you chopped up into gourmet lunch and the pieces deep frozen for eternity.
That's great. Oh goodness, that's really good. All right.
I responded to that, Battletoad.
So I'm going to follow this up with Kefka from Final Fantasy VI. This is actually probably my favorite villain of all time. All you Sephiroth people, sit down. I see you going for the keyboard. Sit down. We'll have that argument later. I've acquired the ultimate power. Observe such magnificent power. You're all nothing more than fleas compared to me now. Embrace your destruction. It is the fate of all things. Life, dreams, hope. Where do they come from? Where do they go? None of that junk is enough to fulfill your heart's destruction. Destruction is what makes life worth living. Destroy, destroy, destroy. Let's destroy everything.
Sounds like they were, yeah, that's actually kind of scary.
Oh, that Kefka's a magnificent madman villain. He's really great. But one of my other favorite games is Chrono Trigger, and you have Magus from Chrono Trigger.
You got whacked, 'cause
because you're weak. Say, do you hear that? It's the sound of the Reaper. We were created only to be harvested. All people and all living things. It's over for you. Your life ends here.
Nice. Oh, that's great.
Oh man, that actually is like that sounds like a wrestling.
Yeah, that one does.
Like something the Undertaker would have said.
Right, exactly. Oh gosh. Okay, well, this one is actually several characters from Street Fighter 2. But and this is very much a wrestling type of a game, and all of the characters do some smack talk. So I put together a ton of them.
Nice.
All right, here we go. Seeing you in action is a joke. Now you realize the powers I possessed. Go home and be a family man. Attack me if you dare. I will crush you. There is no chance for you to beat me. Challenge someone else. My strength is much greater than yours. Next time we meet, I'm going to break your arms. Now get lost. You can't compete with my powers. Anyone who opposes me will be destroyed.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Oh goodness. Okay, all right. Dragon Warrior 2, Zoma. This one's a really good one.
Hero, what drives you to struggle so for the sake of life? Destruction is my joy. There is no greater beauty than the dying. Come, you shall breathe your last within my arms.
That was weird, dude.
That's a really weird one. I like it. So, oh goodness. Okay, so this one is a famous one, not because the game is particularly good or it sold well, because it didn't, but just because the translation is so incredibly bad.
Nice.
And this is the infamous Zero Wing. You have no chance to survive. Make your time. All your base belong to us. You are on the way to destruction. Ha ha ha!
That's the all your base belong to us.
Yes, yeah.
Line.
Yep.
That's where that comes from. Zeroing. Okay. I've heard that so many times. I just didn't know where it came from.
Yeah. Oh, another one from Final Fantasy is the Emperor.
Okay.
You have braved the bowels of hell to reach me. But the hand of man, which deals in false justice and forsaken love, can never hope to defeat the Lord, Master of Hell.
Dang, that's pretty deep, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Bowels. That's a good word.
Right? Oh goodness. So all right. So for our last one, I picked more of a recent one, Mortal Kombat 4, Shinnok's line. For millions of years, I suffered in the bowels of the Nether Realm. You, Thunder God, are responsible for my suffering. Now the piteous mortals of Earth will pay for my grievance. With the Elder Gods out of the way, I will take my rightful place as ruler of all eternity. I can already feel the power surging from within. God, I need a drink now.
I know.
I can't be that manly for that long.
Dude, that is awesome.
Oh, goodness. We're going to jump to a break. And when we come back, we are going to play a Zelda-themed game that should be a lot of fun. We're going to torture Steven with a little bit of Zelda trivia that he is not going to know.
Oh.
Hey, it's Kai here. We recently finished our latest EP, Quest of the Dragon Warrior. It's an electronic tribute to Dragon Warrior and the amazing music that game gave us. We're really excited about how this music came out, and we want you to have it for free. if you go to technofunkboy.com/Dragon Warrior and sign up for our weekly newsletter, you'll get the songs to download and keep for free forever. That's technofunkboy.com/Dragon Warrior, or check the show notes for a link.
We're back.
Oh, goodness, welcome back. So, Steven,
Yes.
are you going to be doing that voice for the rest of the episode?
I don't know, because I'm not sure if I have this wrestler inside me or not. I don't know. Yeah, I'll stop. Although I feel like what we did just before the break was like a warm-up for my wrestling spirit. And now it's like it's ready to come out and wrestle. But we're moving on. But maybe I could just occasionally break into it.
We're going to have to do like a 10-part series on wrestling games now.
Dude, that would be awesome. I think our listeners could get down with that.
Right?
I mean, because if you think about it, wrestling was like the first retro game. I mean,
That doesn't even make sense.
just flow with me here. I mean, they came about the same time, right? Like retro video games and wrestling they were around the same time period. It's probably, there's some connection there we're just not seeing.
You know, there's actually a remarkable number of gaming podcasts that also tackle wrestling. I say tackle, pun intended. But yeah, I do think there's a connection there. There's just been too much overlap that I've seen, and too many of my gaming podcasts talk about wrestling too.
Well, the thing is, reading those quotes just now, those are like wrestling lines. Like, it was kind of hard to. I mean, it's you can hear that in the ring, and so I feel like it's that attitude. It's just like this real caricaturization of opposition that kind of makes you, and everybody kind of wishes that's how fights happen. And that's why we have to fantasize about it in wrestling and in video games, because we all wish that happened when you got in a fight, like somebody, cut you off on the side of the road. Instead of like getting into a violent altercation, you actually like just get out of your cars and read lines to each other. That would be cool.
And then pile drive each other into the asphalt? What? I mean,
well, you'd have
I don't know where you're going.
You'd have to choreograph it. You'd be like, all right, dude, look, we're really mad at each other, so I'm going to take this road cone, and I'm going to hit you, but you're going to like fall over the barrier, but then you're going to get some rocks and like act like you blind me with like a dusty rock cloud.
Right.
And I'm going
to get on the bumper, and then I'm going to jump on you.
See, that actually might have been happening. I think there was a news article recently about some guy trapped on the hood of a vehicle in Florida, and he was on the phone with the lady that was driving the vehicle, and apparently they were having a fight, and they were going like down the interstate in Florida. That might have actually been people having choreographed the wrestling match style road rage incident.
Oh, by the way, I am part of a couple of groups on Facebook that are just like bad driver groups. And the video, not groups of bad drivers, but basically groups that post videos of bad drivers. And this is not like state required, group counseling for me. You need to be in a group of bad drivers on Facebook, and y'all just talk about how bad drivers you are. No, they just post videos. They are just amazing. Some of the accidents that happen. And the stupidity of some drivers out there is just insane.
Yeah, no, it's over the top, man. Well, it's I think we talked about it this last episode or something, but it's just one of those, or maybe we didn't. Just one of those weird things people take driving so personally sometimes.
Yeah,
I mean, almost every day I get the finger. Like somebody is super mad at me because I cut them off. And I'm just you weren't going fast enough, or you weren't gonna,
Dude, I told you I was sorry. I was really pissed off about Murd. let me see. I was really angry about Murd. Sorry about that.
Oh. Well, if we had been driving, it would have been totally different. Then you could have like cut me off and rammed into me or something.
Right. Oh gosh.
No, I forgive you.
Oh wow. So all right, let's jump to our game. So, how much have you played Legend of Zelda?
I've never played Legend of Zelda.
Just not even like just briefly, casually?
Nope.
Okay, well, Legend of Zelda, the original Zelda, published in the 90s, just revolutionary game, obviously, had a number of really just fascinating and interesting enemies, and each enemy had a particular style of fighting, certain defense, certain way that they went about things, and it's part of the real charm of the game, this wide variety of monsters that you come across, that you have to encounter. And they also have just some of the most ridiculous names in gaming history. And I don't, it kind of makes you it really makes you wonder. It's like if anybody expected this stuff to take off. Like as they're putting together the manual of Legend of Zelda, and they're like, what do we call this thing that they're gonna have to fight? And they're just making up stuff. Like, were they expecting 30 years later that we would have, the Breath of the Wild, and we'd still be dealing with these same enemies that were so cool graphically and so cool with concept, but so bad in name? They probably would have named things differently, is what I'm kind of getting at.
Well, I don't know what their names are.
Yeah, but that's exactly what we're going to get to. So, I have given you I was going to say like a page of images, but it's digital. Page of enemy sprites for the game. And what we're going to do to play this game is to go down the list of these enemies that I've given you. And this is radio, so while I will have all these images over on the show notes page at technofuckboy.com/43, the first thing we're going to have to do is describe the enemy that we're looking at. So I want you to describe what you're looking at, and then I want you to guess this enemy's name. Like what kind of what the monster, what is the monster called?
Okay.
So, first one on the list.
All right. Do you want me to describe the way it looks? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's all you. I designed this game to be as little stress on me as possible.
Okay, well, it looks like what we have here for this first monster, if it can be called a monster, because it actually looks slightly adorable. If it wasn't holding a weapon and a shield, it looks like a cyclopean slug or something.
He's a bit chubby, isn't he?
He's chubby. It's a chubby cyclopean. I mean, it definitely has one eye.
Yeah,
and it's got a instead of a pitchfork, it has a trident. It has a bident, which is like only two prongs. I think a bident is a two-pronged trident.
You're just making up words.
Well, I'm about to have to make up his name, so I'm getting warmed up.
Fair enough.
And he's got the 4-piece domino shield. So it is a 4-piece domino shield, bident, cyclopean toad thingy, orange.
Is that the name?
No, I think the name would be Brattlebot.
Brattlebot. That's really actually very close.
Really?
It's Armos.
It's Armos?
Yeah.
So it's Armos? It's Armos? It's Armos the close? The name? Or Armos is the name?
Armos is the name.
I thought you saying Armos was like it's almost. But like you were just slurring or something.
I haven't had that much tea. Almost. You almost got it right.
Almost got it right. All right. Okay.
So I thought, I thought I'd start you off with an easy one.
Okay. Yeah, the second one I have no idea.
What does he look like?
I see a blue dog looking at me. Blue dog, blue dog. What do you see? I see a yellow snake looking at me. Okay, no.
This is a much better game.
Should we go through this? Should I go ahead and keep going? Okay. I see. Because like the fourth one looks like a biscuit. So I'm just gonna do it. Yellow snake. No, okay. No. Okay. All right. It looks like a bulldog.
Yeah.
With red teeth. The big teeth, the bulldog teeth that kind of stick out of the lips.
Yeah.
They're red. Maybe 2 pixels long a piece.
Getting very specific.
It's really angry. It's wearing a sleeveless black t-shirt with a red belt, and it has one paw out front. It looks like it has a small baton under its arm or something.
Yeah.
On either side, or can't quite tell, and it's got an earring. A red earring on one side and a black earring on the other side. And did I say it looks really angry?
It does look angry, yes. It's got red eyes and kind of the angry eyebrows.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So
I would say...
What's his name? Not his name, but, like the species.
It's a Fartfanugan.
It's a fart. That's actually right.
Is it right?
No, it's not right.
Oh,
that's a mob. That's a moblin. It's like a goblin, but a mob of them.
Hey, Moblin Fartfanugan actually might have been a good name for it. Yeah. Moblin. Okay, so it's a goblin. Okay, I see it now. I kind of see it.
All right, so the next one should be easy for you.
Moblin, what do you see? I see okay, so this one looks like a snake. There's definitely snake things going on. It's got one tail.
It's got one tail, like a snake.
Like a snake, because all snakes have one tail. They're mostly a tail.
Yeah.
In fact, like 90% of a snake is a tail.
Yes.
It looks like this one's eaten Waldo, and
that's not eating Waldo. He has stripes on his belly.
Well, what if that belly was transparent and Waldo was in there? then it would look like he's eating Waldo. But he's got like a baby tooth coming out of the top of his head. Not Waldo, but this snake thing.
Baby tooth. That's not. The way you're describing it, it does not look that threatening anymore. It's like like a baby snake with a baby tooth.
Except there's this giant singular red eye.
Well, yeah, he's looking to the side,
he's looking to the side, so he probably has another giant red eye
on the other side, probably
on the other side of this second dimension.
Yes.
So, but his head is very big.
Yes.
Which makes him look cute as well. He's got like a baby tooth, big head. So I'm going to call him Baby Snake.
You gonna call him Baby Snake?
I'm going to call him Baby Snake.
Yes. Obviously, that's a rope.
It's a rope?
Rope. That's what they're called in the game.
Well, I think we can call snakes danger ropes, right? I thought I saw a meme one time that referred to snakes as danger ropes.
So yeah, this is kind of where the infamy comes from on this game, where you obviously have snakes, but we call them ropes in the game. When it's clearly not a rope, it's a snake.
Is it spelled like rope?
Yeah, just like a rope. What are you doing with your microphone?
I'm sorry, I had to adjust it.
All right, down to the biscuit.
Okay, so this one has no discernible animal shape. It either looks like a biscuit, or it looks like some faceless Pac-Man ate a coat hanger. Or
or something. It doesn't. It looks like the developer got lazy, or let their kid design. Hey, little Billy, you want to come make a monster? And pay? Yeah, I want to make a monster. It's just like, all right, just keep it to 2 or 3 colors, and no, don't make a happy face. Oh, don't make a sad face. It looks like a little kid drew. It looks like nothing. I'm sorry. This one is the worst.
Yes, that's a boulder.
Is it a boulder?
Yeah, it's just a boulder. That was a little bit of a trick.
Oh, okay. That's why.
Yeah.
I was like, this looks nothing like a monster. Hey, well, look, they're doing well then. If that's a boulder, and I was trying to think of it as a creature, then I was going to get really discouraged. I was like, what kind of creature is this?
Yeah.
Okay. Boulder.
Okay, you are 0 for 4. You've already failed the test, but you do have 3 more that you can redeem yourself in the eyes of our listeners.
In the ears of our listeners.
That's true. That too, as well, yeah.
So, this next one is probably the only one that looks like what it's supposed to be. And I think, except for maybe the last one too. But this one is some type of. It looks like a bat. Okay, it looks like the Batman logo.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Except instead of it, just got these 2. It's like 2 eyes. Well, it's just a silhouette with 2 eyes. It's like dark blue background with a light purple, or maybe I'm colorblind, but it looks like a bat with 2 eyes, like a kind of cruddy bat. Like if I couldn't draw well.
Yeah.
I would draw this bat. And so it's a bat. So some bat something. So Batty Bat, or maybe Death Bat, or Flying Bat Viper, or maybe a curmudgeon. I don't know. What is it called?
Keese.
Oh, kick. So I had the part.
Yeah. Keese. Keese.
Yeah, of course, a Keese.
Of course.
Why doesn't it have a bat in it? A Keese bat.
I don't know. Maybe the word bat was trademarked. I don't know.
I guess if it's a silhouette, it kind of would look like a toad too.
Okay, so the next one.
Well, it looks like a headless wedding dress or dress.
Do dresses normally have heads?
Okay, so that's a good point. There are arms coming out of this. What looks like it's a dress, or like a Christmas tree.
Oh, that I can see that. Yeah, a blue Christmas tree.
A blue Christmas tree with a very. Yeah, actually, just the base looks like it's just a dress. It looks like a dress with like these kind of like goat-like arm things and no head.
And no head.
Yeah. So I would call it a headless goat dress, or
yeah, that's right. That's very close. That's it's called a lever, but in the ancient Hyrule language, lever means headless goat dress. So
I got one.
Yeah. That's it's a half a point. Half a point.
Hey, I'll take a half over nothing any day.
Yep.
Nothing.
All right, our last monster.
It looks like a ghost kind of thing. And it looks like it's flipping off the world.
Oh, gosh. Okay, people, y'all need to go see the show note page to see that, because once you've seen it...
Can you not unsee it now?
It looks like this ghost is in the car right behind Steven.
Flipping me off. It's already happening. And on the other hand, it looks like it's holding a pistol pointing down. So it's like giving you the finger and then having a pistol in the other hand.
Road rage ghost is what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah. The road rage ghost, or the Ghost Rager Road. Just to mix the word order around. I don't know.
Nice.
Ghoster?
That is the whiz robe. And so...
It's a wizard.
Whiz robe.
Wiz Robe.
Right.
I was going to guess that next. Ah, man.
Oh, goodness. Well, you
Half a point.
did really very poorly. I was expecting you to get the boulder. That's why I put the boulder in there, just to give you one.
That was like a freebie, like one
Right.
free point. Well, it looks like a pancake, too. But everything kind of looks like a pancake. Because it's all two-dimensional.
Right. Oh, gosh. Oh, well, that is about all the time we have today. Stephen, thanks for being a good sport with the games. You clearly suck at them, but we do appreciate you playing.
Well, thank you. I appreciated sucking.
And so I do hereby give you permission to do this same game with characters from StarCraft.
To you?
To me.
I think I could arrange that. But the graphics are much better, so you'll probably guess them all. I'm just being hoity-toity about graphics.
Yes. Well, we really do appreciate y'all joining us today. As a reminder, we are here each and every week, bright and early Friday, to help you kick off your Fridays with some fun, with a smile, and thank you again for joining us. So we will be back. We'll be back next Friday, of course. And until then, we hope you have a great day.
The Retro Zoo Super Show is brought to you by the Techno Funk Boy. Follow us on Twitter at Techno Funk Boy, on Facebook at the Techno Funk Boy, and sign up for our email list at technofunkboy.com. Also look for us on Spotify, iTunes, and Amazon for music. If you are so inclined, please leave us a 5-star rating and review on your favorite podcast catcher. If you are not so inclined, you are obviously some sort of villain trying to conquer the world. Unowned music and gameplay clips are used for educational and critical purposes. Thank you for listening. Keep gaming. And once you have responsibilities that need to be done over time, then you can game later.